Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Sea of Infinity. In this video, I wanted to just kind of just briefly delve into, I guess, just some more of the, not darker, but just, I guess, just a bit different or a bit peculiar aspects of things that you can like experience or witness on an awakening journey. And not saying that this will happen to you or anything like that. But you know, things have happened like this have happened to myself, and I've heard other people talking about it too. So I just thought it would just be, you know, an interesting topic to delve into and discuss, just in case it helps anyone out there. But you know, as always, like, just take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and don't become like too caught up in anything. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to kind of talk about, you know, as you are going on an awakening journey, you know, and it's kind of, you know, things aren't always as it seems and such, you know, it's like we've got our third eyesight, and then we've got this illusionary matrix realm we're living in. You know, it's like all sorts of things going on that sometimes can be a bit confusing and not make sense. So I guess the first little one I wanted to talk about is, you know, just a quick little one. Like, sometimes when you're awakening and stuff, I feel like you can realize or notice that you might have like a lot of like helicopters or planes, you know, jet planes and things like that, like flying over you or over your house and such. You know, possibly it's just the flight path I live in, but the amount of helicopters and planes and such sometimes that fly over my house, it just seems like it's just of such variety too, the type of vehicles that go by, and just so often, that it is just a little peculiar sometimes, even considering I've moved house as well, and it still happens. And I've heard other people talk about that too, so I'm not sure if it's like an actual thing or what is going on, but it is apparently something that can happen. So not to be alarmed or anything by it, you know, just is what it is, but it is just an interesting happenstance. I don't know if it's like a glitch in the matrix or what, but yeah, you know. And then even things like monitoring spirits and such, you know, sometimes you might notice like bugs or things like that. I feel like it's usually easier, you know, sometimes it can be, you know, other animals too, like cats, dogs, you know, spirit sometimes with dogs. But I feel like it's more usually like bugs and insects and stuff, because I feel possibly maybe they're classed typically as like the lower realm type animals. They might be a bit easier to kind of manipulate by another force. I don't know how it all works. But you know, there seems to be some sort of people or beings or forces that are able to kind of, you know, pop into people's bodies or into animals, or I don't know, or just control them energetically, or I don't know how it all works. But you know, sometimes you might notice things like different insects or whatever hovering around in a peculiar way, almost like they're not quite acting like an insect anymore. It's almost like they are a conscious being, like trying to come around and spy on you or listen to what's happening, or you know, just bizarre little things like that can sometimes happen and seem a bit funny. And again, you know, I don't think anything to be, you know, alarmed about. You know, it's not going to harm you or anything, but it is just an interesting happenstance that seems to happen on this journey that's, you know, something to just take note of. And then I guess even just, you know, leading on from the bugs and stuff, even sometimes people itself, you know, like gang stalking type instances, you know, I'm not sure if the people are like consciously aware of it or not, if they're consciously making the decision to do it, or, you know, again, I'm not sure how all this works, or if they're just like being unconsciously controlled or something by, you know, a remote person or a remote force or what have you. But you know, you might just notice sometimes people, you know, like almost trying check up on what you're doing, or just like following you around, or like looking at you out the corner of their eye. You know, cars and stuff like following you, or sitting outside your house and such. You know, just random people that are, you know, you've noticed before, like maybe following you or whatever, and just randomly popping up in different places when you're out and about, and it's like you can kind of like see them, you know, off in the distance, kind of keeping a little eye on you or something, and it might make you just feel a little, you know, a little paranoid or something about it. More just paranoid in the aspect because you're like, surely that's not happening, but then you keep seeing evidence of such circumstances that you start feeling a little bit like, okay, well, maybe I do have to kind of accept that something's happening here. But yeah, so just not to be alarmed by that either. Again, no harm is going to come from it, which is the most interesting aspect of all, right? Is like, why even is all this happening when, you know, it's not like they're getting ready to pounce on you or something. Maybe they're just collecting information. I'm not sure, or just trying to throw you off your track or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how, what, who, when, why. You know, maybe it's just a glitch in the matrix, or a program in the matrix for, you know, when this happens. I'm not sure, but it's just something that interestingly seems to happen to people on these sort of journeys sometimes. You know, so just an interesting topic to talk about, I feel. And then even as we go, like, you know, another step deeper, almost like, you know, people becoming like almost like possessed or something, you know, whether it be strangers, but mostly for me, like, you know, people, you know, as well, like friends or family, you know, and again, I'm not sure if they're consciously aware of it, whether they're, you know, consciously plotting against you, or whether they're just completely unaware of what's happening and it's just like a part of their subconscious controlling them, or, you know, whether they've got like a walk-in soul or something, like another soul's like, you know, taken over their body or like possessed them, or, you know, some person or, you know, being, you know, with strong spiritual powers or something is able to kind of, you know, control their mind, or like remote control their body or something. I'm not sure, you know, how it works, what the agenda is, or anything like that. But it definitely does seem like something does happen. You know, even just with my own experiences, like, you know, I've had, you know, family members almost, it's like just some of the things they have said at times and stuff is almost like they're trying to take notes and dig deeper into certain aspects of what I'm doing or what I'm learning, as if they're like, they've got their own plot or agenda that they're taking this information back to. I don't know. It's been a little bit weird in that way. You know, almost like they're asking questions or saying things with a hidden motive behind it, that you can just kind of just seeming a bit sus in weird ways, that you just are like, oh, what's going on here? Like, what do you know? Why are you asking these questions? You know, you know, I thought you were just meant to be an ordinary nobody. Like, why are you anyway? But interesting things, or, you know, just certain, you know, another example I've had is, you know, talking to someone I know about these sort of things, and them suddenly becoming very like aggressive towards me, almost like they're possessed or something, like physically violent essentially, and telling me that I'm like crazy and such, and just being real like aggressive about it, but then all of a sudden switching up into like another personality and being like, no, you're not crazy, like everything you're saying, like is completely right, and then just switching again back to being really aggressive and violent, almost like they have like two people in one body or something that they're like switching between. Again, I'm not sure what is going on there either, but you know, just something that seems to kind of can happen and stuff on this journey, and to, you know, be wary of like, you know, things like that do happen to you. Like, you are absolutely not alone, and these things are being observed by many of us. And it's just really interesting to me trying to kind of understand, who and what is happening, like who's who in the zoo type thing, like it's almost like people that and love, just all of a sudden it seems like they've got these hidden agendas or something. And again, like I said, not sure whether they're consciously aware of it, especially at the times when it almost seems like they've got like a split personality or something. It's like, are they demonically possessed? Are they, have they been taken over by another soul that's has some agenda? Are they, I'm not sure. Have they always just been part of some secret thing and, you just never knew who they were? I don't know. I don't really know how it all works. All I know is that it's quite peculiar and interesting to say the least. But yeah, so it just, something I just wanted to kind of briefly delve into and talk about. I won't go too far into it all, but just to kind of get, that topic and idea out there, just for if, while you are on your own journey, if you do see or experience any of those sort of odd, peculiar things, just to know that you aren't alone, and that these things can apparently happen. And I guess just as well, if you do like hear of any of those sort of things happening to other people or whatever, at least like to know that there are other people that are experiencing it as well, so you can support them through that and not just, brush them off as, being delusional or something. There is some sort of aspect of something that kind of goes on sometimes in these, experiences that are interesting, to say the least. The intention for it, I'm, unsure of at this point. As I said, I feel I'm quite, new and naive probably to a lot of this sort of stuff. So I have no clue about what's going on, no clue of who's who in the zoo. All I know is that, myself slowly trying to work it out and figure things out in my life and, what even is reality. But yeah, I just thought an interesting topic to kind of open the can of worms on just a little bit, and just to shed a little bit of light on, just for anyone out there, even just for anyone else out there that may be going through it as well, just to know, like, comrade, you aren't alone. And again, as I've said, like, don't be too alarmed by any of these things. You can't, like, I don't believe any of it's going to bring harm to you unless you kind of, energetically allow it to. Like, you still have free will and the ability to, empower and, stand up for yourself in a peaceful but strong way. I don't feel like you need to, you don't need to go and be paranoid or feel like you need to, take extreme measures to protect yourself or anything. Well, at least I don't believe so. Maybe I'm a little naive on that too, but so far it's all seemed, a bit bizarre and a bit, frightening or threatening at times, but still hasn't, can, feel a bit that way, and just because it is a bit, different and such. But I don't feel like it's actually, going to just cause complete harm to you, because I feel like then it would have already, right? If the whole point of it was to cause harm to you, or that whatever is happening had the power to harm you, then surely it would have harmed you already, right? It seems more like, I don't know, just some sort of monitoring type thing, or something to try to persuade you of going down a different path or thinking a different way maybe, or just trying to, gather knowledge and work out what you know or something. I'm not sure. But, I just feel like it's something to be wary of and cautious of in some aspects, but to also not, give too much weight or worry to either. Like, still, you do you, like, be you, and don't let anyone try to scare you or, knock you down. Just, as always, you know, the importance of healthy boundaries, really. Just, you know, have healthy boundaries as you need with these sort of aspects, and, you know, take steps to keep your own energy and aura, you know, safe and calm and, you know, grounded. And I feel like you'll be completely fine. I really do feel like that is like the most important ways to protect and keep yourself safe on these sort of, you know, journeys and such we're delving into, really is just having those healthy boundaries and just keeping in with your energetic cleansing and such for yourself internally and externally, is just really the best way. Because, you know, at the end of the day, everything is energy, and, you know, we all are God consciousness, and we all have, you know, the power of source, you know, within us, you know, the power of divinity within us. So you are ultimately, you know, the creator of your reality, and you are the power of your reality and of your experience. So don't let those things kind of knock you off, and just, you know, keep that strength and balance within yourself for yourself, but not in a way that you need to, you know, be going out there causing havoc, or, you know, tracking these people down or something, you know, or, you know, attacking people back, or, you know, people getting a bit aggressive. You know, you don't need to become completely aggressive back, but still feel strong enough to, you know, to stand your ground, set boundaries, you know, and energetically cleanse yourself and your space to just, you know, feel that peace and calm, and groundedness for yourself. I really just feel is the best way to kind of deal with these things. You know, not feed too much energy or attention into it. Just kind of like a fly buzzing around, just, you know, like, oh, shoo fly, don't bother me. You know, that sort of aspect I feel is the best way to view these sort of things. Just like a harmless fly that you just kind of, oh, shoo away, like, you know. All right, guys, I think that'll be enough for this topic for now. You know, again, not sharing this to try to alarm anyone at all, more just because it does seem to be such a common thing you can experience on these sort of journeys. Just kind of wanting to, you know, bring a bit of peace of mind about it, and just reassurance that, yeah, these things can happen, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal. If anything, it's just a bit interesting and peculiar. And we're all in this together, so we'll be okay. And, you know, all's well that ends well. You know, we've got the protection and love of God as always. And you know, no matter what happens, we always go back home to the loving arms of God anyhow. So no stress, people. All right. Well, I hope you have an absolutely lovely day, a magical, magnificent journey. You know, swat those flies away. And sending you so much peace, love, light, and blessings as always.